In the reality show of our own lives, distracting negativity can derail our destiny. So, what are those bad guests that you need to cut from the roster? Maybe it's the inner critic. I was interviewing Ariana Huffington, and we started talking about the inner critic. And I said, "What is your inner critic saying to you right now?" She said, "My inner critic is saying you have a funny voice and you should never be on television." Anybody recognize that inner critic? Yes. Well, I have a key that I share with people when I'm working with them. If you're in a situation like this where you have a drawer nearby, open the drawer, put the inner critic in the drawer, close the drawer. Say, "I'll be back for you later." If you're driving to an event, leave the inner critic in the car. And the reason you don't just say, "I'm getting rid of you forever," is because the resistance that you may encounter in a moment where you need to just harness everything to shine brightly is great. But if the inner critic knows, okay, that's part of the protection and she needs to know this, she needs to remember this, and it'll be dealt with later, that gives you that moment in time to shine in a brilliant way with ease. Now, the inner critic may be things like bad habits. And how are you going to deal with those? Well, first of all, it comes back to what we talked about those soft truths and those hard truths. You face both of those and then say, okay, what do I want more? Do I deserve to show up in the fullness in my life? And I'm talking sometimes about stage, but wherever you are with family, friends. For me, sometime being the star was really making sure that as my mother's advocate during her 16-year illness, that I did everything I could to get her the best care, to fight for her life until she took her last breath. So however you're showing up as a star, you want to make sure you cut those bad guests from the roster. Now, earlier, there was talk about narcissists and negativity, and sometimes it may be a person in your life. It could be that you need to set boundaries, or it could be that you need to eliminate contact. But identifying that, telling yourself the truth about it, and then deciding that you are going to make a decision in favor of your destiny and your highest level of expression is how you cut bad guests from the roster.